Meantime, Croc and Beanie the Bird watched as their homeland was turned into Dante's playground. Beanie told Croc that he must act, but Croc was confused. What could he do against the might of Baron Dante? Beanie grabbed him by the straps of his backpack and shook him with all her little bird strength. "You're the only one they have. You must help." Can you imagine what it's like for a Gobbos being all alone? Croc sniffed. He could very easily imagine what it was like, and he felt more alone than he ever had before. Straightening himself up, he said to Beanie, "Alright, but I'm gonna need your help." Here, the legend becomes fuzzy. Historians are unsure as to whether Croc was actually successful in saving his friends. But one thing is for certain, from that point on, he became the greatest champion the Gobbos had ever had. Welcome back to Let's Play Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. We're moving on to the next 3 levels. Sand and Freedom, level 4. Okay, so we're out of the ground levels and into the air levels. Pretty much just being up in the sky, more or less. We even get music that kind of fits the atmosphere. And a stupid whirlwind. Don't get caught in that, or you have no idea where you're going. Get out of here, get out of here. So, according to the... in terms of the story script in the instruction manual, that is the end of the story. So now we just get to play the rest of the game and see how everything turns out. But you probably guess how it's going to turn out. Now something I have to point out is why the heck is a Gobbos all the way over there? And in terms of a lot of locations, why did they put them over there? Is it just because of the solitude aspect of it? I suppose so, but I'm not really sure. A roundabout way of getting to a button. Oh well. Let's just keep moving and not die. Not dying is the best. And here we actually get a remix of the main menu screen music, which is actually very nice. To me, it's actually very nice to hear. My guess is that it's only in this world. I think it's only in this world. I don't think it's in the next world. But I think the only reason why it's here is because the title screen music actually sounds like it comes from this style. And we got a gold key down there we can't do anything with. And there's the gold key. It's less becoming roundabout ways of getting to things and more, well, we need it, maybe it's in another part of the room. Don't worry, we're gonna have longer stretches of level in order to get a specific key. So, now that the story is done, and now I can't really... No, I should have mentioned this before. This room sucks! Horribly. Don't worry, we'll be coming back here. There are many reasons why. Let's keep going. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Scorpions! Why are there scorpions? Don't ask me. But yeah, there's scorpions for some unexplained reason. I don't know why they'd be in acid pools. But anyway, me talking about the story as pretty much because story's finished in the instruction manual, and you go away. You're a meanie. But what the heck? Hey, I've never had that before. Butt slide. Anyway, instruction manual. Now we go through this room. The story is now done. However, there are some little gripes I have with the story. And there's actually a good number of gripes I'll actually talk about throughout the levels. However, I'll start with my personal gripes. First off, the story in the instruction manual really doesn't coincide with the bad... No. Sometimes if you're lucky you can die with one crystal in hand because you picked it up off of whatever you fell into. Whether it be the lava or the... Wait, no, not the lava. I think it's only in the frozen water or the tar. But only if you're really lucky, and I'm not doing very... Do I have all five? I have all 5 crystals. That's weird. Very weird. I don't remember having them this fast. Anyway. The story doesn't really coincide with the game. And I'm meaning this in terms of pantomiming and the cutscenes. Because this entire game is pretty much no dialogue whatsoever, the instruction manual, to me, doesn't really fit very well. Because it has dialogue. Especially from people like King Rufus, Beanie the Bird, and of course Croc, who I don't believe even learned how to speak. Oh, bad timing, bad timing. I'll just get the key and die then. And I'll get a couple of crystals for the road. But yeah, the dialogue just doesn't fit well with me. But I guess they needed some way in order to actually express it, but I think they could have expressed it a lot better if they did not try... If they didn't take the easy way out. Like if they put more effort into making descriptions a little bit more alive in terms of the characters, instead of just putting dialogue and taking the easy way out, I think the manual would have been a bit more of a touching story. This is actually the easiest time I've had with this room, and I wasn't really paying attention. Those 3 platforms way in the back there are really finicky about what position you're having to jump from, especially with the slope that you have to deal with. And I did that wrong. Can I make that? Hey, I can make it! I kinda didn't want to do this on monkey bars, but okay. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents. The dialogue in the instruction manual doesn't really work for me. And that makes 5 Gobbos, so now we can head on to the Ghost Race. Which is down this way. Well, luckily there's a lot of crystals in the Ghost Races, so let's take care of that. Let's go! What? What? Oh, Ghost is going... Yeah, And I mean, there's a lot of crystals in this race. They just kind of pack them. However, I think I screwed up here. Oh boy. If you're quick about knowing which direction you can go, I think you can outrace the ghost at all times. However, I wasn't really that successful. Come on, come on. Yes! Balloon! Balloon! Take me to the key! Come on! God, this is a long balloon ride. Yes! Take that, ghost! Haha! It's all stormy. I don't like it. And now we get out of there and into Leap of Faith, which is a very special level to me. I think the only reason why it's really a special level to me is when I think of Croc, when I think of the game, I instantly think of this level for some reason. Anyway, bonus time. It's not really a leap of faith to the bonus area, but you can't be too picky. So as I get lives, really, yeah, when I think of this game, I think of this level. I don't even know why, but this is the most memorable level throughout the entire game for me. Nothing in World 1 or World 2, but yeah, it's just this level. I really don't know why. I think it's just because I came back here a lot. And why I came back here a lot is still a mystery to me. I think it's because there's just a lot of crystals, or it's very easy to farm lives here. Or that it's moderately challenged, I don't know. So, one thing I want to actually point out here is my next fun fact, and that is the backgrounds for the level. As you can see, we have the background in the back here, and we seem to be above the skyline. This is kind of one thing that the PlayStation version did a lot. The PlayStation version and the Sega Saturn version both had different ways of managing the backgrounds. The PlayStation version had a circular field here. The Sega Saturn version was pretty much flat. Like, flat squares, so you would have like one here, pretty much one for every cardinal point. However, once you got too high in the PlayStation version, it kind of looked a bit odd because the skyline was way above you. So you were able to look down on the scenery. We'll actually be able to see that, later. We'll be able to see it better a lot later as we dodge fire. Lots of fire. Fire's bad. Don't even try to take him out. There's no real reason to. If you want to see an example of the Sega Saturn's flat background workings, you can just go back to my video where I'm taking on Flibby, because I put a link to a video. It pretty much will show a great deal of the Sega Saturn changes, which is very surprising. However, here is another long-ish room, because now we have to take care of these boxes. Now, the Gobbos was in that one, but however, I am a bit obsessive-compulsive, so I want to hit every single box. Take care of the boxes in this order, because I strongly recommend it, otherwise you're going to be having camera issues, because the camera has a big, huge problem of switching around backwards, so you're going to be dealing with this camera angle if you go the other way around. Until, well, you move, but it's still a big chore. Moving on. We seem to be going down. However, that doesn't seem to be the case as we're now up. What are these supposed to be, like Mario pipes? I have no idea. One thing I want to... What's over there? One thing I've always questioned about this level is why there is a button. I think it has to do with over here. There's a plug up. I've actually never noticed this. There's actually a plug in here, and you can't stop on it to get rid of it. So that's what the button's for. Then again, there's tiny platforms, and tiny platforms just really, really suck. And the way that this button is handled is just very weird. I think it's just because of the way I see it. Most people either don't see it, but it's just kind of weird that I kind of shift clockwise a bit once I hit the button. It makes it feel a bit harder, or I don't know, the pressure just doesn't feel right with me. Hey look, a mummy! Hey. Now this room is just kind of long just because you have to keep going along these wooden rafts to each of the boxes. If you want all the Gobbos and you want all the colored crystals, you have to go through here. Otherwise, you can just go on the top of the monkey bars, kill the mummy, or dodge him, whichever you want to do, and head on to the door and continue on your way. Can I continue on my way? I don't know. See you, mummy. He'll be back, don't worry. Now we're just missing purple. I don't get the noises they make when they spawn and despawn, the wooden rafts. Yeah, that, like, the creaking, croaky, squeaky noise, I don't know, it doesn't feel like wood to me. Alright, time for taking the top path. Nope, bad. I'm good. Kinda lost my crystals here, but I got a life and I got the purple crystal. So that's good. Now here we go. Tiny platforms, tiny platforms. These are even worse platforms than the other ones that we see in the caves. And good old Flaming Dantini shows up again. Yeah, I think I just came back here a lot because I always tried to do a no-hit run. Because there's a lot of crystals in this level. I think maybe about, like, I think there's over 100. And I always wanted to get all of them. I think at this point I was like maybe at 85, 90, somewhere around that line. And then by the time you hit the ghost race, you're well over 100. Ah! Ah! Why? And that's one thing I had never noticed about Flaming Dantini, is that when he's on fire, he's invincible. Kinda weird, but yeah, I kinda wanna focus my attention on the swinging barbed... what's-her-faces over there? What are they? Let me rephrase that. I know what they are, but what are they doing here? I really have no idea what they're doing here, and they just kinda look way out of place, like... what, Baron Dante's cheap laughs? They're not even connected to anything. They're connected to the dark void of... Ow. You said it, Croc. I wasn't even moving. It's Ghost Race time! This one I don't think is that bad. I think it's the last Ghost Race that is even worse. Shortcut time! I actually went back and did the last 3 levels to see if I could actually shortcut and get the silver key. Turns out you can. I have no idea why, when I did previous Ghost Race runs, that wasn't a thing I could do. Oh well. We have the key now. And now we can hit this button, which will open up platforms all the way over here. Which I think leads me to one of the scariest and saddest Gobbos of them all. He's literally in the dark, in complete solitude. Like, sure, there's King Rufus that you saw in the intro where he's in a cage in some sort, but he's in a castle. That Gobbo was in the void of dark pit and nothing to see around him. He wasn't even in a cage, so he couldn't see even that. He was just on a tiny platform. But anyway, there goes Leap of Faith, and next up is Life's a Beach. I could rephrase beach. Kind of makes me kind of feel what I feel for this world, but really I have no problem with the second set of levels. It's just the first set. I don't know, maybe it's because I don't play them as much, or whatever. However, this level has a lot of backtracking, so off we go. So we got a Gobbos in here, and we need a silver key in order to free him. There are 2 doors that we can go through, and a locked door, which we ultimately have to go through. So we're gonna make a couple of passes through that room. First up is this room, where we have bouncing acid. Why? Heck if I know. It's not that hard to get through. And then we have to get back, and notice the little gold key all the way over here. Yeah, you may not notice it because it's in the corner and nobody looks in the corner. However, now we have the gold key in order to continue, but we still need the silver key. This way we go! So, one thing I want to actually touch on is keys. Including going through the ghost races a second time. These really suck, and this is just me getting every single crystal that I can. But, yeah, this is just me going through and getting every single crystal that I can, because included is... This is I hate slopes. Sometimes you just can't do anything on them. But anyway, I was actually working on a question that I had of the game, which was, could you carry more than 1 key, whether gold or silver? And the answer is actually yes. If you collect 2 silver keys and don't use them, and use 1, you will still have an extra key, which I think is an excellent thing that was incorporated into the game. There's barely a time when you do it, other than completely forgetting, but in terms of if you ever forget, that's a possibility. Get that Gobbos, and go back here, pick up some more crystals while we're at it. There we go. Sometimes you can move, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just go through into the mud pit. And now we can head on through. I think this is 3 passes that we went through in this room. However, it's lantern time, and we actually have to go through this entire section twice. Ugh. Why? Well, because there is another locked door. I'm just gonna say that right now and save you the trouble. I did not want to do that, but anyways, I'm across. I don't care. Let's keep going. Ultimately, I think I have to retrace my steps because the silver key, I think, is on the other side. God dang. No. I know what that platform is, and I did that anyways. However, now I want to actually point out the facts about the story that are more professionally stated. It's not my personal thoughts, it's thoughts that were given from other people. And this question and this fact actually comes from speculation from the development team. First thing I learned about the background story of the game that was incorporated into the instruction manual is that it was apparently written by one of the writers of The Simpsons. And that's pretty much all I know. It's very, very vague. And can you blame me? Because I think there's tons of writers for The Simpsons. These lanterns are also very, very fast to lose their light. Luckily I know where I'm going. Sort of. Don't judge me. Yeah, I think I have to double back. Let's go! Except I can't. Oh well, that lantern shows up again, I think. Maybe. Thank you! Now I can go backwards. Hit the boo-boo, and flip backwards. And wait again. Anyways, I was talking about the writer from The Simpsons apparently doing the story for Croc in the instruction manual. So, yeah, it was kind of surprising, am I sure this is solid fact? I don't really know, it's really speculation. You can look it up. I won't blame you if you don't. But anyway, there was a bit of a disagreement between the writer of the background story and the lead designer of the game. And the disagreement was that the style of the story and the style of the game did not coincide one another. Which kind of is a flimsy assumption in my mind. What the lead designer apparently said was that he wasn't really happy with the story that was written. And the reason for that was because the manual was written more humorously, and by humor I suppose they mean that it was written as a scientific magazine article. New species, this is what we've learned about their rituals and stuff like that. This is an ancient folktale. And then, there we go. Yeah, that's, if you were able to catch that, this is what I mean by platforms screwing you over. I think it's just because of the altitude, but overall, platforms have the insane ability of screwing you over. If you miss the jump, if you're too early, there is a good chance that you can fall underneath it and bang your head and hit the mud pit or whatever that much faster. So it's really just that. But yeah, the designer just did not like the humorous tone of the story compared to the style of the game, which was apparently quite whimsical in his perspective. The idea that the game is a bit whimsical, I kind of can agree with, but not 100%. Oh yeah, and this is the most annoying ghost race. Good thing it's the last one. Like, I can understand his idea of the story of this entire atmosphere of the game being a bit whimsical. Like, I'm chasing a ghost, for Pete's sake. And this is the problem, that there's a lot of tiny platforms in this single race. Shut up, you stupid ghost. But in terms of it being him thinking that it isn't humorous, I think the game is humorous. But in terms... I'm vigorously pressing the button. But I can... I guess I'm kind of agreeing with both sides here in terms of whimsy and humor. Because I think there's a bit of humor in the game, but yes, and there's a lot of whimsy. There's not a lot of room for seriousness, even though there is kind of a serious tone built on a lot of it. Oh, I hit the button too quick. Here's what happens. So, if you don't complete the race and you die, the key will still be out there. However, if you complete the race and you lose and you die, the key does not respawn. So, otherwise I would be redoing this the entire time. However, I'm just going to show off how... Can I... No! Oh, that was the shortcut. Oh... That was the shortcut. Where is my music? Have I really been here that long that the music died? Yeah, that was my shortcut. That was going to grant me victory. Come on, I want to use that shortcut and just screw this ghost over so bad. He deserves it. Yay me! think this is going to be a point where I have to do something drastic. And again, I am way ahead of that ghost now, so maybe I can... Nope, he went woo. He went woo! That means Come on. Yeah! Suck it! I'll take all of those crystals. Thank you. And actually, I'm gonna be safe and go back the way I came! Get that Gobbos? And get the heck? Do I still have them? Okay, I do. Therefore, there's no point to this ghost race. Victory lap. That's what I'm gonna call it, victory lap. Oh boy. Now, I would say this game is absolutely frustrating in terms of these parts, but the music is just so well done that I really can't complain about it. Get me the heck out of here. Like, it's not controller throwing frustrating. It's just... it does get you a bit frustrated. So you kind of shake the controller in your hand and go... But otherwise, it's fine. But yeah, that is the next 3, I can count, 3 levels. And now we're on to the next boss, Cactus Jack, in his ranch, which looks kind of weird. It looks like a castle top. A parapet, if you will? I don't know. See you next time, everyone!